New month, new Forza update, new cars. Forza Horizon 4 stream just concluded for this month, and I'm about to tell you what's included in Series 9. Week 1 is the Morris Mini Traveler. They mentioned that there's going to be a lot of Mini included in this month, and they were not lying. They weren't talking about miniature cars, except they kind of were. This is what you get for completing the 50%. And also, there's one particular event. If you don't know, there's events in where you can win cars outright from just completing the championship. You get a John Cooper Works. That's right, it's my car, except it's a convertible. I honestly don't know who wants to buy a convertible Mini Cooper. It's stupid. I can't believe they've done this. It would be cool if I didn't own one. They did it on purpose. But I will now be making my Mini, except it'll be convertible and stupid. Week number 2 is the MC12 Corsa. That's right, my friends, crazy race cars. We ain't just stopping on the minis. We're getting some cool stuff too. There's just a lot of minis indeed. The 2012 John Cooper Works, which is definitely not mine, but hey, it's an older version of it. It's usually available only in wheel spins, apparently. I don't think I have one, but there you go. Hey, presto. Week number 3, Mini Countryman. What were they thinking? Of all cars they could have added, mine, they had the Countryman. I would have preferred to have the convertible and then the non-convertible. Why would they do this? In fact, the next one is also a Mini, but not so Mini. It's some like a Dakar Rally looking Mini Cooper, which is not something I would ever expect to see from Mini, but it's going to be cool. I love it. Week number 4 is a Buick Gs X, which has a rev counter in the weirdest of places. That's right, it's on the hood. It's the coolest thing ever. I love the Buick Gs X. I'm definitely probably going to drive this more than once. And then finally, the one you've been waiting for, the reason you probably clicked this video, the Apollo Intensa. I first saw this at Goodwood in person. I didn't even know it existed. It's Goodwood last year. Oh my, that is what a hypercar is supposed to look like. When you dream about what a hypercar would look like as a child, you think this is what it would look like. And then you draw it and it looks like poo. But this does not look like poo. It looks like it's going to be a grippy boy with the meaty wang on the back. I'm excited to drive. This is probably the highlight of this month. Now, the next thing would be collisions and wall riding. All of that has been fixed. As something they keep mentioning. I think it looks a little bit janky, the wall riding thing. It physically slows you down for wall riding. It looks a little bit unrealistic, which is not, you know, it's not great. But for those that do the professional, the focused racing, I particularly don't. It's great for those because obviously wall riding is a big issue in a lot of games, but I do think there's a better way to handle it. But then comes custom adventure, which allows you to tweak the settings to play around with how you want, whatever class you want. You can do whatever you want, and that is how it should be from the start. I want to play a certain way. Let me play a certain way, and now I'm able to do so online with randomers, and I can choose if I want them to ram me or not, because for those that don't know, although collisions are frustrating in when you're going hardcore, for me, and particularly other people, we'd even like collisions to be on, because it feels a little bit weird going through a car. I'd rather bump off a car than not. That's my preference. They demonstrated a lot through this section of showing you different collisions and different penalizations. Everything that would happen if you were a fool, if you had the settings of, say, for example, the wall riding is disabled and the collisions. They spoke about it a lot. They showed many different scenarios, and ultimately, cheaters, you're gone, mate. You're done. Next up is a New Horizon story. This one is pretty similar to the others that are available in the game. They become time trials. Basically, get it from point A to B in the fastest time possible. Within that time, you get 3 stars. It works as you imagine one of these works. Apparently, you do get a crash test dummy outfit if you want to for completing all of them 3 stars, which is quite fun. One cool thing is the main character that did the German accent. Apparently it's an insurance company thing, and essentially what you're doing is driving cars, and people have claimed against an issue with the car or something, and you test out to make sure that it's true or not. And they had a little bit of fun with it, but essentially it looks like it's mostly going to be time trials like usual. But for those that are from the UK, compare the Meerkat. You may know that. Well, essentially, the voice actor for this German character is the guy that did the Compare the Meerkat advert, which is quite funny indeed. I'm very excited to hear his voice once or twice. Then spam A to try and skip the voices and get those stars, because they are now counting towards the festival playlist. I think 30 stars in total can add to your score, which I think is a little bit insane, because it means that if you want to get that 80% car, you're gonna be doing a lot of events. We'll see how it goes. And that pretty much wraps up what is coming to Horizon for this month. I'm looking forward to play with the new cars for the most part. The new Horizon story sounds pretty cool. The wall riding getting rid of is probably going to excite a lot of the racing heads. But that's it for now. Make sure you check out the limited stickers, the vinyl that come off. Link down below in the description. Be sure to smash like, subscribe if you are new, and let me know down in the comments what your go-to feature is going to be on this update. Until next time, peace.